Greetings, guys! Let's do another tank review. Now, before we begin, you're probably wondering, holy shit, Fury, what happened to your hair? Did an Indian scalp you? No. I just got a haircut. It's summertime now, and goddamn, the sun's getting blossomed. The winter is gone. The sickness is going away. There's no longer this ice cold, ice warm bullshit that's going on. We are now getting into fucking spring. Now, you're probably wondering about the hat. Well, we're reviewing another German tank. Now, you're probably wondering where's the uniform too. Well, the uniform's being washed right now because I do that every pretty much the end of the weeks to make sure it nice, stays and clean and fresh. But unfortunately, this tank came out. Now, I know I said I didn't want to see no more German tanks, but I'm actually kind of happy because we got a German tank that came out, and I haven't reviewed a German tank in my channel for a long time since the Scorpion G and the Panzer 58 Mutts. That was a long time ago. So now we got a frickin' German tank again. Let's see what it looks like. You fucked it up! Welcome back to another review, guys. Today we are reviewing the Kraft Panzer 4. Now, the Kraft Panzer 4 is based off a comic book based by Dark Horse. Now, if you don't know what type of Dark Horse comic book looks like or what it is, if you ever played War Stories, they're the ones that did the art style for basically the War Story campaigns. And they also got many other tanks based off the legendary comic book that most people really love to read when they're on the road, such as Snakebite, Boilermaker, British Bulldog, Kraft Panther, and the Hidden. I mean, if you want me to review them all in depth, let me know, because they're actually all not bad. But yeah, but where does it say in the comic book about this tank sucking ass? It's fucking bullshit! Yeah, there's a big problem with this tank, and we're going to reveal all the problem bits. You know, usually at this point I would probably review the armor and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do it. Why? Because it's the same fucking thing as the Panzer 4H, guys. It's the same fucking thing, but worse than it. And I'm going to tell you why, how it gets worse. And hopefully, dear God, if you're going to plan on buying this, I hope it spreads some light of what you're about to pay here. And see how much the suffering I had to do. So let's cut this fucking turd open and see what's wrong with it. But first things first, we're going to talk about the one thing that I have a problem with. And it's the same thing as the Panzer 4H. It's gun. Its gun reloading time is 4.30, which is not bad. Aiming time is 2 seconds. Accuracy at 100 millimeters, 0.38. Accuracy on the move is 0.56. Accuracies are in rotation, 1.22. Yee. Maximum range, 720. Maximum elevation, 20. Maximum depression, 10. So it's got like good depression, it's got a good accuracy, a good elevation. But the problem is, it's just the accuracy aim time is a little bit garbage, and I'm going to show you right now in a little clip on the little proving grounds to show you what I'm talking about. Alright guys, here we are on the proving grounds. Now as you can see on the bottom, you got your reloader, your commander, your pretty much radio man, driver, and accuracy guy. So you got everybody in the whole set in this tank. Now, first thing I want to talk about is the speed. The speed, it doesn't feel that fast. I know it's pretty much, you could probably say it's faster than all this, but it just feels slow. Now, you could pretty much see over, pretty much if you look on the back of the map, you could see almost nearly 2 or 3 grids over, which is a big problem. That's why I don't like the spotting that much nerfed on this, because that means this tank will have to get really close. And I shot my first shot and it only tracked him. Alright, let me show you the quickness of turning around. It's just standing still. It's average, not too fast, not too slow, but it's average. Now let's try the head turning. Head turning is pretty above average. It's actually pretty damn good for its speed. Now accuracy on the move, let's see. Get this engine starting up with the reticle, aiming that way. As you can see, the reticle is not bad for accuracy on the move. I mean, yeah, I do have a good German crew in it, so it shows it. And the reloading time, the lowest you can get without putting the most expensive chocolates in it, is 3 point... I didn't see it with the frickin' map thing. Let me get it over to the building. There we go, 3.55. So it's got a quick reload too. But the problem is I don't like about it is its pending bullets. Now, I get it, it's like the Panzer 4H's bullets, but it's just... I can see this being a problem, because I'll explain later on too, but it's just, to me, the bullets in this tank feel weak for a tier 5. I mean, 83 millimeters of pen, it can pen some tanks, but it's like, it has a hard time even penning Shermans a little bit, especially if they're angled. Like, you know, like the Sherman 3s and stuff like that, or the Ripper tank and stuff, it's like very hard to pen some of them, especially KV-1s. That would be a big problem because you have to get on their sides to shoot this type of bullet. So yeah, this can be a really, really big problem. And the other problem I have, well, actually I'll explain that later. Alright guys, now that I showed you pretty much what it can do, let's head back to the garage. Now we're going to talk about the other major problem it has. The bullets, but it's the same thing as the Panzer 4H, I get it. But it's also a big problem, and I'm going to explain that in the battlefield, but let me tell you what the thing is. Okay, it's got armor piercings, The damage is 83 to 138, which is not bad for a tier 5 medium tank. Penetration 83 to 138. Cost for one bullet is 70. APCR is basically the same damage. Penetration is 119 and 198, but one bullet costs 2,800 a shot. And high explosives is 131 to 219. Penetration 29 to 48. And one bullet, it costs 38, which is the cheapest thing out of the bunch, but that one you only shoot like pretty much tier 3. Coming right at you, that's a light tank. But despite all that, it also has another big problem. The spotting is worse than any of the Panzer IVs. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you real quick. Let me go to the mediums, Germans, tier 5s. Okay. The original Panzer IV-H has a 62 spotting range in the concealment of the same concealment when you put camouflage on it. That's a good thing. But, however, the Kraft Panzer IV suffers it by 10%, actually, no, 11%, because 62, and you got like 51, so it suffers 11% more than a standard one. Now, I'm going to talk about how that's going to be a big problem when we get in the battlefield, but we're going to go right straight into it. So here we go, guys. So here we are at the first match, guys. I'm playing this in the morning. You know, you would not believe how many times I had to attempt this recording. This is literally my 50th battle with this tank. And I'm being dead fucking serious. I'm not joking. 50. I could not get this tank to do good in any game to show you the potential it has. That's how bad this thing is. So I finally got one to show you. So now let me talk about my personal thing about it. I hate Panzer IV's penning gun. For you would think with a gun with a 75mm cannon, you know, a 48 length barrel, you would think that it would have better accuracy due to the length of the barrel and the better frickin' pen. But no, it's really the complete opposite. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand people out there are going to give me comments about the Panzer IV's penning and me not liking it. But think about this. This tank is really slow. Yes, really slow. Like its mom. On paper, it says it's 48 when you're going uphill and stuff and driving around. My ass. It doesn't feel that fast. So basically, I don't know about this tank. Like literally, it feels like it's slower. I don't know. Let me know if you guys, whoever own this, let me know if you feel the same way. Because to me, it just feels slow. Now, the problem is in this game, the only way this tank does really good sometimes for me is the load APCR. Now, I get it. That's a scum way of doing it, and I hate doing it that way. I'd rather shoot my normal rounds. But like we said, the normal rounds are so bad at its pen that it cannot pen easily heavies. It can't even easily pen mediums sometimes if they're angled. It's one of those tanks that you have to be careful. And the biggest insult of all for any Panzer IV drivers, without that big, huge, spotting range it has, it's very hard to snipe with it. Now, what is the big #1 thing that German players love? Spotting, long range, and shooting great. And especially the German boozy, especially dealing with this shit. This tank gets nerfed between everything like that. Now I'm trying to shoot a fucking Sherman. He's shooting APCR at it. I know that's overkill again, but again, you have no idea how frustrating I was going through this tank, trying to play multiplayer to show you guys this tank. And it's... I think the more proper word I'm trying to say here is a shit little fuck. I have more fun playing the Guppy. I have more fun playing the Panzer IV, the Panzer 5-4, sorry. Panzer IV Hydrostat. Why the fuck, the Wargaming, why the fuck did you make this tank go higher in the tier? Yeah, by the way, this tank plays up to a fucking tier 7. Yes, that's right, a tier 7. That's how much money you paid for 7 guys to rape you every time you play this tank. That's how you fucking feel when you get into a tier 7. You're just having 7 guys rape you because you paid money for it. Oh, what a shit-ass fucking cock motherfucking game. If that's not bad enough, you already saw the APCR rounds cost like 2,800. So imagine only doing 100 and pretty much or 98 damage to a tank, spending that much money on it, because you can't really pen it with the 83 unless you get on their side. But good luck getting on their side, because most of the times if they spot you in a tier 7, the first thing they're going to shoot is the most weakest armor. That's you if you drove this tank. Yeah, but Wargaming doesn't see this as a problem. I mean, greed is good, right? Greed is great. Fucking assholes. That's why most Panzer IV drivers drive with the howitzer gun. It makes it a lot more fun and does more damage, which is really good. This 75mm, I don't know why the fuck they nerfed it this bad. I remember it back then when I was young. When, I know, I feel like young, but it was like almost 2 years ago. This thing did not have any skirts, and it had a very, very good, accurate gun. Now, the best way I can describe to you how good the Panzer IV freaking accuracy was and how good the pen was, it's like describing, you imagine you first played the game and you got a nice rifle out of it. A rifle that's able to shoot far, able to do some damage, not great at armor, but basically able to shoot stuff really long range with no problem with some concealment. This was a good thing back then. But then they said, fuck all that, and said, now you have to shoot with this gun. Yes, it looks shiny still, but the fact is, it's a BB gun, and you have to shoot pellets at a tank with less concealment. How fucked up is that when you have a tank with no armor with the fucking thing? On bottom line, have a fucking gun that could do its shit. God damn it. Why the fuck did they nerf the accuracy, aim time, a little bit off? It's like, I get it, you're supposed to hide in the shadows, but good lord. And we're almost near the end. I just wanted to show you, see, like, I'm killing the arties now, but this is the best game I can show, guys. I mean, I've tried playing it so many times, I was done, and it's like, ugh. Like, this tank needs a major change in it, in my opinion. Like, for example, you need to have it go into only tier 6s. It can barely survive in a 7. So why the fuck does it go into a 7, Wargaming? That makes no goddamn sense. Especially when you got your normal rounds being only 83 millimeters a pen. Are you joking me? You have to go against a T-29, a fucking Tiger, a fucking, a Panther, for God's sakes. Good luck penning all that with that type of gun. And especially going up against the biggest cocksucker of them all, Cocksucker IS. Like, can you imagine getting hit by that thing? And we won. That was a short game, yes, but that's how these games work in a tier 5. But man, oh man, this tank, it's just, ugh. Let me go back to the garage to show you the reward. I know it's going to not be a great one because it was APCR only, but that is like... And let me show you how like great I was when we get back there showing the review thing. Alright, see you in the review thing. I mean, in the reward thing. Ooh, yeah, that was really close on the reward. As you can see, I only made 7,069 like K, but that's it. Like, it's like... That is not very good. Like 7,000K, that is like bad for a tier 5 premium tank. And without premium, I would have lost 10K. But here's the thing where I think I did actually pretty good doing it, despite the fact that I load premium. There you go. Mastery badge, class 95. So I did better than 95 people playing it. And yes, sadly I have to say, there are people playing it. But the amount of damage I did and the kill steals, that means there's people out there who's doing far worse than me too. And I feel so bad for them because they bought this tank thinking that it might be finally a good Panzer IV, like the Panzer IV Hydrostats and the Panzer V4. But no, this tank is like mediocrely average for people or worse for people. I mean, it doesn't even have the legendary accuracy of it. Now, there I am in the top leaderboard. I got some assist damage. I only blocked 185, but that's because like I was blocking like one tank, like the Sherman thing. I don't think I blocked it. I don't remember correctly, but yeah. So I penned like 15 shots, only got 10 direct hits, 10 pens, so I only missed 5 shots. So that's average for a tank like this, but That's me trying my fucking best. The only times I missed was trying to shoot the arty on the move, but that's me actually trying to concentrate and actually trying my best. It was like very hard to drive this tank. And, well, like I said in the thing, it just doesn't belong in the matchmaking it deserves. So I'm going to go back to the garage, give you just the final verdict number on it, and pretty much talk about the rest of the stuff you need to know. So yeah, guys, I'm going to have to give this tank a 4 out of 10. Now, all you Panzer IVs out there who's loving this tank, I know you're all going to send me hate mails, but hear me out, okay? Just hear me out. I understand you like the Panzer IVs, but here's the thing. The Panzer IV in the tech tree, you have a howitzer gun and a 75 millimeter cannon. So most people that like this tank usually uses the howitzer gun. So, yeah. So basically they like that stuff. And you have the consideration, another thing. Sorry. You got a consideration of all the others. Like, for example, the Panzer IV 5.4 has the best speed for basically its class and armor. Panzer IV Hydrostat is the best one of by far all of them because it has premium matchmaking and it's one of the other fastest tanks. Guppy, even though I don't like the Guppy's matchmaking like the Panzer 5.4, the Guppy has the fastest reloading gun in the game for a Panzer IV. This tank is beyond horseshit. You have to play in 7s. I mean, you play up to 7s, so you gotta spam premium, and that's a lot of money. And you gotta think, you got no armor. And plus, the worst insult of all for any Panzer IVs is not having the 62 spotting range. Having it down to nearly 51 is insane to hide. Now, I know people are saying, well, it has the best concealment. Well, you could put camouflage on the Panzer IV-H in the tech tree and it equals up to 55 fucking concealment. So, having that on this tank doesn't excuse it. It does not excuse what it is. Concealment in this game is hard, and furthermore, without concealment, you need spotting to spot long range. That's how it works. You need to have spotting to see the enemy far away, plus concealment to hide. Without those two, or one of them being nerfed, you're gonna be fucked. Unless you have speed, which it does not. I don't care if it says, like I said, 28. The fucking speed on it is not better. I mean, yeah, the Guppy's only 23, and the Panzer IV Hydrostat's 29, but those feel a little bit faster. I don't know how, but unless I gave you the controller and you played this tank, it actually feels slower. I wish I could really give you the controller right now to understand what I'm saying. So for this tank, it's not worth it, guys. And I know why they did it is because of that goddamn officer with that unique perk. People wanted a cheaper version of it, so they just bring out a crap tank and say, here, you can have this crap tank. You could sell it afterwards if you don't like it, but here's the officer. But you know what, Wargaming? It's not fucking worth it with the amount of price of gold you put on it. I don't give a shit it's a tier 5. I'm actually happy that you stopped putting out 8s, well, except for the new one that came out. It's still... I don't care that you are trying lower tiers. You need to also consider it that we need lower matchmaking tiers. We need better pending guns. Because remember, we got a lot more fucking heavy tanks now in tier 5s and a lot more heavy armored penetrationable guns. So why the fuck does this tank have to still stay at 89 millimeters of penetration and fucking can't even pen like fucking like OI experimentals and stuff like that? You can't. It's really hard to do unless you know exactly where to hit them on the head and stuff, but that's really hard when your accuracy has been nerfed on this tank. So, like I said, final verdict is definitely a 4 out of 10. Do not, I repeat, do not buy this. I know you probably want it for just the officer alone, but if for fuck's sake, if you really want the officer, get the goddamn Kraft Panther. I know it's expensive compared to the 5, but trust me, this tank, even if it does not do a lot of damage, it does money making. It makes money. So you're making money while having that perk. You see what I mean? That's balancing in two departments, not just one. And you know, reviewing it like this is pretty sad, giving it a low rating, since it is really an iconic tank. You're dealing with the Panzer IV-8. The Panzer IV, one of the most iconic tanks in World War II. And, well, Wargaming had to jerk off on it, saying like, oh, we can't have an accuracy. Well, lick my fucking scrot, you fucking Wargaming communist country son of a bitch. You fucking take one of the greatest German tanks of all time and you raped it. Raped it. This is like literally the most horseshit thing you can ever do to Germany. And you could go fuck yourselves, you goddamn mother-humping, mother-sucking, son of a bitch fucking wargaming, cock-sucking motherfuckers. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please, good luck on your Soviet dream madness machine that's going on right now. And please, for the love of fuck, don't get this tank. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.